Hello students, welcome back to the chapter How do organisms reproduce. So previous class of this chapter we came to know about the process of copying the similarities of the parents to their offsprings and also about the variations between the parents and offsprings, and also we came to know about the importance of the similarities and variation between the parent and their offspring. Offspring means with their young ones. Okay. So now today we will discuss about the types of reproduction. So reproduction, first of all, what is meant by reproduction? Already we know that reproduction is nothing but it's a process of giving birth to their young ones of their own kind. So the process of reproducing living organism of their own kind, it is called reproduction. And this reproduction is of two types, namely asexual and sexual. So asexual and sexual. Reproduction are of two types, namely asexual and sexual. In this asexual, we will discuss about the modes of asexual reproduction. Okay. So now before that, we must know what is the asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction is nothing but the process of reproducing new generation. The process of reproducing new generation from single individual. So that means here there will be no separate father and mother. There will be only a single organism. Itself it will be inside that organism it will be the male gametes and female gametes, which gives rise to the new generation or the offspring. That means here there will be only one living organism. Unlike we human beings, we have father and mother separately. Right? There will be a men and women, both they will fuse to give their young ones. But unlike them, in asexual reproduction, there will be only single organism. Within itself, there will be the male and female cells, which later on give birth to the new individuals. Okay? Here, reproduction will happen only because of a single individual only. That type of reproduction is called as asexual reproduction. So the what is meant by asexual reproduction? The process of reproducing new generation means new individuals from a single individual. Okay. So in this asexual type of reproduction, we can see different modes. That means different organisms will perform, they will reproduce asexually but in different ways. That is, they will reproduce in 5 different types, namely fission, fragmentation, regeneration, budding and vegetative propagation. So these are the 5 modes of reproduction used by single organism. Here single organism is nothing but the single, that means here single individual. Means the organism which performs asexual type of reproduction. That means only a single, there will be a single parent. Okay, only one individual will give birth to their young ones. So the different types of single individuals, they will perform a reproduction process but in different types. So they can perform through either fission, it's fission. Secondly, they can perform through fragmentation and regeneration, budding and vegetative propagation. So now we will discuss in detail about these modes of reproduction performed by the single organisms, and we will also see the examples for this such kind of modes of living organism who perform different types of this reproduction process. So you note down each and every point and listen it carefully. So these are the very much important, there will be so many important questions regarding this subtopic, modes of reproduction. You must have to do remember the definition and the example for each of this mode of reproduction. Okay. So have a look and listen it carefully.
Types of reproduction: sexual and asexual reproduction. Reproduction is of two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The production of a new organism from a single parent without the involvement of sex cells is called asexual reproduction. Example, here you can see binary fission in amoeba, budding in hydra, spore formation in rhizopus, and vegetative reproduction in flowering plants. In asexual reproduction, cell divisions are amitotic or mitotic. The new individuals produced are genetically identical to their parents, and it is fast mode of multiplication. So you can see to the right side the division of cells. The disadvantages of asexual reproduction are that identical organisms are produced generation after generation, and evolutionary changes are not possible as variation does not occur. The first is fission. In fission, a fully grown parent divides into 2 or more daughters. It is the simplest method of asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms such as amoeba, paramecium, and other protozoa. So note down the definition and example, students. So fission is of 2 types again. One is binary fission, another one is multiple fission. Binary fission is the division of one cell into 2 similar or identical cells during favorable conditions. In this method, the nucleus first divides amitotically into 2, followed by the division of the cytoplasm. The cell finally splits into 2 daughter cells. Examples: bacteria, yeast, euglena, amoeba, and paramecium. Multiple fission. Multiple fission is parental fission. Parental body divides into many daughter cells simultaneously during the unfavorable conditions. The nucleus of the cell divides repeatedly, producing many nuclei. Each nucleus is surrounded by a small amount of cytoplasm, and many daughter cells are produced within cysts. So you can see the process of multiple fission here. The cyst breaks up under favorable conditions and small offsprings are liberated. Examples of multiple fission is that of malarial parasite, that is Plasmodium. Budding. In budding, one or more unicellular or multicellular outgrowths called buds are formed on or inside the parental body. Hydra reproduces by budding using the regenerative cell division at one specific site. So you can see the process here. Budding. In budding, one or more unicellular or multicellular outgrowths called buds are formed on or inside the parental body. You can see here. Hydra reproduces by budding using the regenerative cell division at one specific site. When fully mature, the bud detaches itself from the parent body and develops into new independent individuals. Next is spore formation. When a slice of bread is kept in moist and dark place for a few days, spores of rhizopus present in air settle on the bread to form new fungus plants of rhizopus. The rhizopus has a knob-like structure which is involved in reproduction called sporangia, containing spores that develop into new rhizopus. And the third is regeneration. The process of getting back a full organism from its body parts is called regeneration. It is the ability of a fully differentiated organism to give rise to individual organism from its body parts. Small cut or broken parts of the organism's body grow or regenerate into separate individuals. You can see the examples here, planaria and starfish. Simple organisms like Hydra and planaria can be cut into any number of pieces, and each piece grows into a complete organism. And the next is fragmentation. In fragmentation, parental body breaks into 2 or more fragments, either by wave action or by death and decay of older plants. Multicellular organisms with simple body organization such as filamentous algae, Spirogyra, breaks up into two or more small pieces or fragments upon maturation. These fragments grow into new individuals. Among animals, flatworms show fragmentation of the body which develops into new individual. Fragmentation is found in algae such as Spirogyra. And the last is vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is the process of multiplication in which new plants are obtained from the parts of old plants like stems, roots and leaves without the help of any reproductive organ. Vegetative propagation is of two types, namely natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. Natural vegetative propagation. Among seed plants, natural vegetative propagation is very common. It is of three types, that is, by roots, by stem and by leaves. By roots. Some plants develop adventitious buds on them, example, guava and shisham. Some tuberous adventitious roots, besides possessing adventitious buds, also contain sufficient quantities of food, example, dahlia and sweet potato. By stem. Some plants reproduce by means of stems straggling and branched rhizomes reproduce by vegetative reproduction. Example, banana, ginger, turmeric. Stem tubers are found in potato and artichoke. Tuber of potato is a swollen apical part of an underground stem. Branch bears a number of nodes or eyes. Each eye bears one or more buds. New plants are produced from the buds of the eyes. The potato crop is raised by tubers and not by seeds. Runner is aerial weak stem, for example in lawn grass, mint and wood sorrel. When touches the ground, gives off adventitious roots at nodes. When the older part of the plant dies, the branches separate from the parent plant and form independent plants. A bulb also bears a number of buds, example garlic and onion. Corms like crocus, colocasia, etc. have sufficient stored food and also bears many adventitious buds. By leaves. In some plants, not margins of fleshy leaves bear adventitious buds. When the leaf falls on the soil, the buds develops into small plants under favorable conditions. These plantlets, on being detached, develop into new independent plants. Example, bryophyllum and begonia. Now, artificial vegetative propagation. Gardeners and horticulturists have developed the various methods of artificial vegetative propagation. Some common methods are by cutting, layering, grafting, budding, tissue culture. First is cutting. A cutting is separated portion of root, stem or leaf which is buried partly in moist soil. Many plants like sugarcane, rose, citrus, duranta, grapes, coca, bougainvillea, carnations and chrysanthemum are propagated by means of cutting. Layering. The adventitious roots are produced in the branch of the stem before the plant is detached from the parent plant. The branch of stem is called a layer and phenomenon is called layering. This method is used in lemon, guava, hibiscus, bougainvillea, jasmine, raspberry, and ornamental plants. Next is grafting. In this method of reproduction, two plants of closely related varieties are joined together so that they live as one plant. The portion of a plant that is grafted on the other plant is called scion, and the plant in which grafting is performed is called the stalk. Examples: mango, apple, peas, citrus, and guava. In budding, a bud with small portion of surrounding bark is taken from the stem of a desired plant. It is then inserted into small slit made in the bark of stalk. Both are tied together and not allowed to dry. Example: rose, plums, etc. And the last process is tissue culture. It is the production or propagation of new plants from isolated plant cells or small pieces of plant tissues in a synthetic medium of culture solution. Plants are grown by removing tissues or separating cells from the growing tip of the plant and put in an artificial medium. You can see the process here. The plant tissue divides to form small group of cells called callus. The callus is transferred to another medium containing hormones for growth and differentiation that forms plantlets. The plantlets produced are transplanted into pots or soil where they can grow to form mature plants. It is also known as micropropagation in vitro because it takes place outside the parent plant body in a test tube using an artificial environment. It is being used for the production of ornamental plants like orchids, dahlia, and carnation. Now let us see the advantages and disadvantages of vegetative propagation. So here are some of the advantages and disadvantages of vegetative propagation. Let us first see the advantages. Vegetative propagation is a cheaper, easier, and more rapid. The traits of the parent plant are preserved by vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is helpful in propagation of such plant which does not produce viable seeds. Whereas disadvantages of vegetative propagation induces overcrowding. There is no genetic variation and plants are less adaptable to environment. The diseases of parent plants are transferred to offsprings. Did you know during multiple fission in liver, Plasmodium produces about 1000 daughter cells, while during multiple fission inside the red blood corpuscles it produces 12 to 24 daughter cells called merozoites. Reparative regeneration is the process of reformation of damaged cells of the body. Example: wound healing and replacement of dead RBCs by new RBCs in man. Regenerative regeneration is the process of redevelopment of lost body part. Example: tail in lizard, hydra, planaria, etc. Bulbils are small, fleshy, specialized birds. When they fall on the ground, they produce new individuals.
I hope you have better understood now, students. So in the next class, we shall go for the sexual mode of reproduction. So before that, go through this concept twice and understand it in a better way. To know, I hope you are copying all the important points also. Okay, so next class we shall continue. Thank you.